So last week on the Beehive, I asked if our dreams redefined in our pursuit of financial stability. This week, I want to look at the journey to our highest and greatest good. And as we're being tossed and turned, as our dreams are being threatened to be redefined, as our dreams are being challenged, as we're rummaging through the wasteland, what resources are important to salvage?
I think this is a very important question, and it's one that we don't think about a lot. But as I reflect on it, I realize that I would not save any material item, I wouldn't seek to repossess them. I think that sometimes when we're on this journey to greater good, or when we're in pursuit of our many dreams that we have for ourselves, which aren't even always aligned to our self regulated destiny, we oftentimes abandon our innate aspects that are purpose and spirituality. Not to mention how we shove aside our mental health. Mental health is it's such a it's such a large illness that we're suffering from right now within communities that are across this nation, and it's something that we're not looking at too much. But if my dreams are being redefined and I'm rummaging through that wasteland, those are the resources that I'll salvage: the spirit, my purpose, and my mental health. You see, the spirit it's the key to life, and because it is so intangible, we forget how much it interconnects the universe within ourselves and the world around us. The spirit has the ability to affect, but it does not change. It's the space where our godliness lies, and it hints to us when we ourselves are moving or when we are being propelled by something else. Without the spirit, we're lifeless. We have no life. So I believe that no dream of mine will be able to reach the vertex of its magnitude without it. That's not to say that we cannot carry out our greatest good, but I'm suggesting that the implication of our greatest good or our highest dreams and our most profound journeys will be very insignificant to the lives of others, and we will not be able to radiate our divine light. Like the spirit, purpose needs to come up out of the wasteland. It can't stay there. So many of us run around tirelessly with no direction, and the fruit of our efforts sustains no one. It makes no great impact. And when we operate in the realm of our purpose, every space that we shake up becomes elevated. It's emboldened. It becomes something because we were there. We can withstand any challenge, and a threat in the form of the redefinition of our dreams is no longer perceived as a threat at all. It's not a threat. It can't be a threat. But I think it's more of a tool that's sent to evolve us. Because anything that changes, it's evolution. You can't stay the same. Change is the only constant in the universe, so it's not a threat. It's not there to scare us. It's there to evolve us. So aside from that, if we look at mental health, or I can even say mental wealth, that's where our balance comes from. That's where our sanity lies. And I know myself, if I can operate and process things effectively, truthfully, and as they are, then there's nothing that I can give. There's nothing that I can do. And just being here in New York, I watch in silent torture as many people walk the streets suffering from mental illness. They once had dreams, and I'm sure they still do, but their illness will not allow them to function and bring forth the manifestation of those dreams the way they could have once upon a time. Think about it. How many times have we forfeited our mental health for the sake of our dreams? How many times? And I think sometimes we lie to ourselves and we say, I'm good, I'm not stressed out, or I got this. But at the end of the day, if you are not functioning at the level that you are your greatest self, your highest self, and where you're able to be 1,000% and not just 100, then there's a problem. One of the simplest ways I can think of is when I was a college student, and I would sleep under 4 hours just about every day because I believed that the fulfillment of my dream was contingent upon whether or not I got that thesis done, or whether or not I aced that final, or whether or not I read that book. There were a lot of things that my dream depended on. But in my evolution, I've learned that we're just, those things were just tiny bullets. They were tiny bullet points to the entire story. They were small things that were seemingly great, but really they're insignificant to the entire book. And the greatest aspect is how well I mesh them all together. How well did I mix my spirit with my purpose? How well did I mix my mental health with my spirit? And how well the three were intertwined. And I think that's the message I want people to hear. I want us to just stop salvaging renewable resources from the wasteland. I'm not talking about water and shelter. I'm talking about the money, the people who we think we need by us, the stumbling blocks, the systems we think that we need to feed into so that they can feed into us, the failed emotions, the thoughts of inadequacies. Stop salvaging things from the wasteland that are renewable. Each time we are in pursuit of these things, that's a moment of hindrance to our journey to greatest good. Materials, people, and opportunities, those things will come as long as we are saving the rawest and most important resources from the wasteland while we are on this journey. And I do believe that those things are spirit, purpose, and mental health.
So, in going back to our question, while rummaging through the wasteland, what resources are important to salvage? Well, personally, I choose to salvage love. And I choose to salvage love because love is survival and surviving is a choice. Now, Toni Morrison said in the Nobel Lecture in Literature in 1993 in Sweden, make up a story for our sake and yours. Forget your name in the street. Tell us what the world has been to you in the dark places and the light. Don't tell us what to believe, what to fear. Show us belief's wide skirt and the stitch that unravels fear's call. So I choose to salvage the narrative, the truth of us, the love of us. I'm salvaging love and our narratives of survival because it's necessary. So I want to look at the lecture that Morrison gave, and the first two words, or the first one word, depending how you categorize words, make up. Make up. She says, make up a story. For our sake and yours, forget your name in the street. So make up a story. That's saying to make up something is to compose something or constitute something. So compose your work of art and make it purposeful. For our sake and yours, forget your name in the street. Make it purposeful. Make it about something more than you. Make it for a higher and greater good. Tell us what the world has been to you in the darkest places and the light. Be truthful about the entire experience. Talk about your truth of love in a holistic approach. And I think that will motivate and inspire others to do the same. And I feel like if we continue to compose and constitute our story, our collective narratives help us to survive. Don't tell us what to believe, what to fear. Show us belief's wide skirt and the stitch that unravels fear's call. So show us your work of art. Show us survival. And collectively, as we're rummaging through the wasteland, the resources that we begin to salvage are our narratives. We begin to salvage love, our narratives of love, our narratives of community, our narratives of freedom, and together with that collective narrative, compiled of many narratives and many truths, we become one and we survive.